नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वर परमः कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर्गोविंद सर्वकारण कारणम्। ओम तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge by which we can directly perceive ourselves. Pratyaksha Vagamam Dhamma. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, now we are successfully studying in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is asking us to understand very clearly that everything is done by only the three modes of material nature. Repeatedly in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving us this knowledge that all the activities are carried out, are executed by the three modes of material nature, which is born from Prakriti. Prakriti Jair Gunahi. Prakritir Gunahi. Prakriti Jair Gunahi. So, but with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we also need to understand these three modes of material nature, they are not going to act randomly on everyone. We know that only three modes of material nature are doing all the actions. So in a way, everyone is programmed. Everyone is programmed to do the actions. That's what we need to understand. But not everyone is programmed in the same way. Because if any program, so there will be a lot of choices for it to execute a specific code depending upon the inputs. So based on the input, it will go to a particular portion of that entire program, particular code. So classes, objects, so like that it's all called in the programming, latest programming concepts. Like that, depending upon the inputs it receives, then the particular mode of nature will act in a different way, that way, depending upon what inputs it gets. So that is basically what we desire or what our mind thinks. When our mind thinks about material sense objects, then it goes after material sense objects. Then we will come under the control of the mode of Rajoguru. But how our mind is going to behave depending upon circumstances, it also depends upon how our mind is trained. So everyone's mind is trained in a different way. Every individual's mind. So that's why given a situation, not everyone is acting in the same way. Everyone acts differently depending upon the situation. In the same situation, everyone acts differently. Because that's how our mind is trained. That means that's what our mind is going to think. So what our mind is going to think is what important, depending on the situation, which direction it is going to go, what kind of activities we are going to do. It depends upon, scientifically speaking, what our mind is going to think at that point of time. And our mind is going to think only based on how it is trained to think. Now, in this material world, our attention is carried away, taken away by our circumstances. So many things. I was talking about social media influence yesterday also. In fact, those people also are called as influencers. So when you start listening to someone, then they are influencing us to think and act in a particular way. And even movies, all the actors, they are influencers. They are acting. It is not real. And they say that it is not real, it is only real. But these days everything is digital, so no point about, like it's not like real, but still to understand the difference, explain the difference between the movie and the real world, so they call it as real and reels. So that way, whatever is happening around us and whatever we are seeing and whatever we are hearing, it's all influencing us. So that's how our mind is getting trained every day. And then it controls us. It influences us, it controls us. Our circumstances, our surroundings, everything. Then we will develop a particular kind of faith based on this circumstances. Sattvanurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata. That's what Krishna says. Depending upon one's circumstances, existence, they will develop particular kind of faith, shraddha. Now, we have to be extremely careful to not get influenced by anything outside of us. That means our mind should not be carried away or influenced by anything outside. But there are many things outside. In fact, everything is inside. There are many things outside, but everything is inside the the so-called smartphone. Not we have to find happiness within ourselves, but now everyone has become a slave of, in general, people in general, they have become a slave of smartphones, WhatsApp, messages, and depending upon their age, they use different kinds of social media, Instagram, so many things, X, Y, Z, all those things, all kinds of influences, all things are carrying us away from Krishna. That is the reality we need to understand. Now we need to protect ourselves. It's very important. We should not be influenced by anyone. Maybe a person who is very rich or who is very powerful, whatever he says, let him say whatever he wants. Or a very famous, maybe an actor or a player, and they too these days, these so-called games, when it comes on this World Cup, it keeps coming. But we won't be here to watch all the World Cups forever. We need to understand. We should go and watch World Cup with Krishna in Goloka forever. That's what is very important. We need to understand. We should not let our invaluable human time just going just like that. Getting wasted just like that. We have to focus and put each and every minute, every second in Krishna's service, because Krishna is time. Aham kalosmi. I am that time. That's what Krishna says. So, we have to effectively make use of the time what we got in our life. So that means our life has to be a very well planned one. With the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. By doing all activities for Krishna. Because whatever we do it for Krishna, it's going to stay with us forever. Whatever service we do it for Krishna, it's going to stay with us forever. Oppositely, in other words, whatever we are going to do it for ourselves, it will be lost in this life itself. Not only it may stay, it may not even stay till the end of our life. Even people who become so rich by putting a lot of efforts in working, in cheating, in whatever way, even they themselves, in this life itself, while living in this world itself, they will not have access to their bank accounts or their money, their possessions. Once a big person becomes old, when the brain becomes slow, especially when memory loss comes, all kinds of brain disorder comes. Someone else has to manage his properties, his money, how it is going to be spent, everything. That is the reality. Even while living in this world itself, that's what is going to happen. So it's very important. With the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we have to do everything for Krishna. It's very important. So when we do everything for Krishna, then 1 second, I will just come. I'm back here. Sorry, I had to. So it's very important for us to do everything for Krishna so that we can make use of this life very effectively and then free ourselves from the material bondage. So then we can actually go to Goloka. So that way, we're discussing today about how our mind is getting influenced by everything around us. So we have to be extremely careful, and only by with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and making and offering prasadam to Krishna, and doing everything, dedicating our life unto Krishna. So then only it is possible for us to lead a very meaningful life. That means will be able to make use of the time. That's what is very important. The time what we have is very important. We need to make use it in Krishna's service. So now what we are studying in the third chapter, Krishna is teaching us that in the sloka number 27 we studied in the third chapter. Prakrite kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvasagam ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. So all the activities, sarvani karmani, they are performed, kriyamanani, by gunas, the three modes of material nature, which is born from Prakriti. But a person due to ahankara, false ego, foolishly, a foolish person, vimudatma, a foolish person due to ahankara, thinks that he is the doer. Kartaham iti manyate. Then in the next sloka what we studied, that is the sloka number 28, Tattva vittu mahabaho guna karma vibhagayo guna guneshu vartamta iti matvana sajjate. You understand this philosophy, O mighty armed, the guna karma vibhagayo. So how the different activities are carried out by the gunas. How the gunas are going after the material senses. So guna, guneshu, vartamte. Iti matva na sajjate. Anyone who understands this, he will not be attached. That's what na sajjate. That's what is very important. We should not be attached. Because only gunas are doing everything, we are not doing anything. When we are not doing anything, then why should we get attached to the results? Because we are not the owner of the results. We are not the cause of the results. We are not the doer of the work. But why only we should just get attached to the results and think that that is ours? That thinking itself is completely wrong. So we cannot climb. We don't have any right to climb the results. That's what Krishna very clearly said in the second chapter, 47th sloka. You only have a right to perform your duty, but you don't have any right to the results. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma palesu kadachanam. That's what Krishna said. One who is knowledge of the absolute truth, Almighty Arm, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work and devotion and work for fruitive results. In the next sloka, what we are studying today, in the sloka number 29, Prakrithe guna sammudaha sajjante guna karmasu tana kritsna vido mandan kritsna bin navichalaye. So bewildered by the three modes of material nature, prakrite guna sammuda, akrishna vido, so who has no knowledge of all these things, they get attached to all the results of the activities. Sajjante guna karmashu. In all the activities we do and the results of the activities and everything, they get attached because they don't know. They don't have any knowledge. He's mandan. Mandan means he is ignorant. He is a fool. Mandan. He has no knowledge. But Krishna bin na vichalayet. But one who has the knowledge should not get disturbed. That's what is very important. So what's happening with us? We are not becoming mandan. We are getting the knowledge. We should not get disturbed. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. So Krishna is continuing in the next sloka. So then what are we supposed to do? We should simply think that we are doing everything only for Krishna. And that way surrender all the results unto Krishna. That way think that we are doing everything for Krishna. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasyadyatma chetasa nirasi nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatajvaraga. So surrender all your works unto me. That means don't get attached to the result. Simply get attached to me. If we get attached to Krishna, we'll surrender everything unto Krishna because we are attached to Krishna. Because we love Krishna. So that means we should not have any materialistic desires at all. Nirasi. And we should not claim anything as ours. Nirmamo. Nirasi nirmamo bhut. Yudyasva vigatajvara. That's what is very important. So then you act, perform your activities, free from lethargy. Yudyasva vigatajvara. So that's what is very important. By Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 30th sloka in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna, and we will continue from tomorrow.